Insider. Yeah, we'll be breaking down all the plays. Yo, so Scuderi in the boom or train. Then we'll be breaking down all the plays.
Hello and welcome everyone to week 3 of the APL Insider. I am your host, Gadarian, and joined on the left, once again, my man, the Goom Train. How's it going, bud?
I'm doing great, Gadarian. Things are really starting to heat up now that we're approaching the halfway point with our 4th week of the tournament upon us. A number of teams have emerged undefeated already this season, but Division 3 seems to have a number of titanic struggles taking place, and I can't wait to see how the next few weeks play out.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned Division 3. Division 3, loaded, stacked with all types of talent. 1 through 4, we've got the undefeated Rangers of the North, Chad, taking on the once beaten Bad Intention, the Old Guard. That's going to be an awesome match. Also, we've got Vanguardia, a Brazilian squad, and Merciless. They're in action this weekend. They're going to be awesome to watch for sure.
Oh, and with all these teams being so close in the score, it's hard to say who's going to emerge on top.
Yeah, I'm very interested in seeing how this washes out. Like we are midway through the season, like you said. So we're going to see who are the class of the division. So before we though get into the schedule and talk about who's playing who, we can jump right into the highlights, starting with Division 4.
Let's do it.
And joining us now from Team Odyssey, we have my man, Stealthy.
What it do, baby?
Stealthy, so happy you're joining us here on the APL Insider. We got to go over this big match you guys played last week, which was week 3 in Division 4 against a game opponent in Lucky Strikes, a 2-0 team. You guys played on SMDM, which was casted by our very own Savage Doc. So just to go into the highlights themselves, the opener for you guys, very important to any match, and that midpoint was AA Network. And you guys made it look really easy. I mean, taking out that Panzer IV stood out for me on the stream, but tell us a little bit more from your perspective what exactly happened to make that cap go so seamlessly.
Our front door killed everybody on point. We took the 2-story, we took the trenches. It wasn't a contest there. And then our crackhead Stewart drove in the back lines and got the P4 distracted, and our Sherman twice. And it was free from there because our Lux died already before that, so that was our last tank up.
So relatively easily, Cap, 4 minutes basically after the gate drops, you guys take the 3-2 lead. You clear out the sector really well. Like you said, infantry's playing out of their mind. Sherman does its job taking out Panzer IV. And then you guys take the big jump and you go 4-1 about the 1 hour and 2 minute mark. You guys are marching, and then something happened. You guys actually lose that 4-1 lead. So take us back to what happened.
We had a bunch of monkeys jump on a garrison to 5-0, and we didn't 5-0. It was 4-1 after that.
So
or 3-2, sorry, 3-2.
3-2, overly aggressive, trying to close the show. But after that, you guys kind of for about 40 minutes go back and forth, just trading. But I did notice that you did gain tank advantage, and right around the 10-minute mark, you get back that 4-1 lead. So tell us a little bit about what it was like getting the 4-1, and then ultimately how you guys closed out.
Honestly, our tanks played really well. I think Lucky brought 3 tanks, and we were using 2, so our tanks were 2v3 the whole time. So that's a big shout out to AT players plus our tanks. And honestly, we held front door, and then we let our flanks do their thing.
Very nice, very nice. I was a little surprised. I thought you guys were holding tank advantage, but relatively shortly after you took 4-1, with about 6 minutes remain, you close the show and you get your victory. Now, I do want to go and take a look to next week's big matchup, and that's a big one. Saturday, September 28th at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard, and the map will be SME, and you're taking on the undefeated 10th Mountain Division. How do you guys match up infantry tank-wise?
Well, first, they're undefeated because they played the bottom 3 team. No disrespect to them, but they've talked a lot of shit saying all this and that, but they play the bottom 3 teams and they're 3-0, so it's not impressive. They have 1 good shooter on their team, and it's 6-Puck. And if 6-Puck's in a tank, they don't have shooters. And that's a shout out to Blurb. You can't shoot. And then also, Bones and Butters used to be with us last season, and Polish. and now they're over there. And if they're rostering a guy who got 1 kill against Ronin, yeah,
Locker
that's their shooters.
room material for sure when they get to watch this back. What areas then, I guess, are you looking to take advantage of? Take advantage of over 10th Mountain. You said infantry is a big, but what about the tanks? Now, you guys had that big tank advantage against Lucky Strikes, and that basically paved the way for you guys to steamroll and get that 5-0. What happens if it's the reverse? I mean, how are you guys going to handle 10th Mountain's tanks?
So with Tent, they do have better tanks than Lucky. I'll give them that. They do have better tanks. They play together probably a lot longer than ours have, but ours have gotten a lot better than they were last season. I think that's going to be really the determining thing, to be honest, is tanks. I think both tanks are good, and I think whichever ones decide to make the mistake first is kind of going to cost things. But I also think our AT players are going to clean up, or they're going to assist our tanks more than they will. So I don't think it's going to be that crazy. I think we win. I'm going to say 4-1.
Wow.
We'll go 4-1.
Big statement. Looking forward to the match. I mean, excited to watch it. Like, again, I said, guys, Saturday, 28th at 9 p.m. Make sure you get on the APL Discord, get that information. We're still trying to figure out who the caster is. That announcement just came out by Soprano. So definitely when we get the information, hopefully we can put it in the chat when we go live so you guys don't miss that match. But I want to thank you, Stealthy, for coming on and chatting with me, and look forward to your match.
All right. Thank you.
Awesome. That was Odyssey Stealthy.
All right, this week in Division 3, we're looking at Rangers of the North plus Chad versus the 250 Hellbees. This week we have Flynn Ryder from Chad talking with us. Flynn, how you doing?
Hi, thank you for having me.
Hey, we really appreciate you coming here and talking to us. So, the start of this match, you guys, you actually lost the initial cap. And obviously nobody plans to lose the initial cap. So after that happened, why don't you, go through a little bit about what happened? Was there any kind of a backup plan?
Well, there's always a backup plan for every lose or win. So in this scenario, we lost the initial opener, but yeah, we just reset it ourselves and took the initiative instantly.
You guys did too. I mean, it took you a few minutes. It took about 15 minutes. You guys took the cap back, and which kind of brings me into the next point. Of course, is that this match was really intense. There was a lot of back and forth. I mean, I think the midpoint changed hands 2, 3, 4 times.
Yeah. It was definitely a tough one to win, especially with the pressure coming either from the middle of the cap circle or down south, close to the big mansion, where they pressured us a lot.
Yeah, I did notice that in the stream too. That I was watching that there was a lot of action going on down in the south. Not as much in the north. What did the north look like? How did that go?
Compared to other matches that we played, there wasn't that much action in the north than we anticipated, and that was something, I guess, that threw us off a little bit. So that made it tougher for us to regain our composure down in the south, and that was just a back and forth constantly during this match.
Right, because you're trying to hold your line. You want your north guys to hold their sector, but you need reinforcements in the south. What do you do?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with the last point being, or the back point being Mount Hele. You cannot lose that, the front door on that cap point as well. So yeah, it was a good struggle for us to keep everything in line.
And it looked like it too. I mean, there was a few times watching the stream where lines would form, but mostly it was just endlessly fighting over the midpoint. You'd send in a wave, they'd send in a wave. It was an epic struggle. I really enjoyed it. But at around the 20-minute mark, you guys appeared to have grown tired of that struggle, and it looked like you pretty much all in during a cap race. How'd you guys finally nail down the center point and hold it? Tell me about that.
They also started putting in pressure on Mount Hele, and at that point, we were capturing the middle again. So as commander, I just said like, hey, let's push all in because we're gonna win this cap race and then secure it from that. And yeah, luckily with that cap changing in our favor, we managed to set up everything correctly and bring in our tanks and yeah, our squads in for a solid defense on the middle point. And with that, we won the game.
It looked really good too. I mean, there was even a moment, that the camera managed to capture a beautiful satchel kill on the enemy tanks. So you guys were really controlling the battlefield there in the center towards the end, and it looked really good.
Yeah, it was a tough, well fought fight, especially from 250's Helbies. So yeah, credits to them putting up such a good fight.
Yes, yeah, I know, and it was, you got to give them credit for that because they've been having a rough start to their season. So it was, I mean, we all appreciate a good struggle. So really enjoyed watching it.
We too. We want to get the tough fights, of course. And being on a 3-0 at the moment, we're looking forward what the future is going to bring for us.
All right. Well, best of luck to you for you guys' next match next week, and I appreciate you coming and talking with us today.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for having me.
All right. You take care.
You too.
Moving on to Division 3, we had the Line versus Fallschirmjäger. However, Fallschirmjäger immediately began counterattacking with both light tanks and infantry, that after about 15 or so minutes of constant pressure were finally able to overwhelm the TL defenders. You can see here the Fallschirmjäger troops flooding into the point for the recapture. Now at this point, this is where the lines held stable here for almost 30 mines, until TL finally decided to shove one of their tanks right onto the capture point and start to cap. However, Fallschirmjäger forces immediately began to focus the tank with massed rocket fire. After that, TL began running most of their forces into the two main avenues of approach, while the lines of both sides began to blur over on the flank around AA. However, right as they got their assault into place, disaster struck for TL as they lose two of their 76S to Satchels and Tigers, which stalled out their momentum. Fallschirmjäger then used this disruption to sneak a full squad into Rue de la Guerre and begin capturing the fourth point, causing TL to pull back not only a lot of their infantry, but a tank as well. From here, Fallschirmjäger just kept the pressure up for the rest of the match until they ran out the clock for a 3-2 victory.
In the final hour, push and pull. Tanks roll back, sounding the hole. Pressure rising, heartbeats loud. Victory chants among the crowd. Fallschirmjäger stands so tall. Infantry retreating, they fall. Takes down, we're holding strong, marching forward all night long. Feel the thunder, feel the roar. On the battleground we soar. 3-2, we claim our rights underneath the starry night. Flames burst bright across the field. Soldiers brave, they never yield. Running out the clock we see freedom's hopes and liberty. Blazing trail through the dust. In our strength we place our trust. Countdown echoes through the air. Victory was always there.
Last week, we win the match with Helus. It's the first win in APL. This match encouraged enthusiasm of our team members. We believe in the strength of our tank squad and have assigned 2 light tanks to enter the hard cap. Woniu is a very skillful tank leader. We believe he is gonna play an important role. After considering the topography of the checkpoint, we made a strong deployment in the northern part of the checkpoint. With the Germany weapon advantage, we took a 3-2 result. STG-44 is definitely a powerful weapon to push in buildings. After we captured the checkpoint, the north side of the checkpoint temporarily cannot push out of the city area. And it is too difficult to push on the southern plain. This situation lasted for 40 minutes. There was a chance when a squad leader hid in the south of Mason, but we didn't seize, which made us determine the 3-2 strategy. We don't know how to face ESPT because our infantry is worthless in front of ESPT, so we choose to fight at 400 Hill. We trust our armor squad and believe they can defeat the ESPT tanks on the 400 Hill. Indeed, it's not an optimistic choice, but the best we can do. Thanks for the invitation by the APL event organizer.
Helios really needs that 76 up here if they want to get this capture. Doesn't look like they're going to be able to keep it. There goes the Tiger, though. So Tiger for a 76. Precision strikes coming in. Looks like it was also for that Tiger. IR's reinforcements are flooding in, and it looks like they are going to probably be able to clean this up. It's hard to say. There comes Helios. 40 seconds left on the clock, and there's just everybody right here in the circle right now. Madcap and Zan right in the center of the circle. She-Gun also right there on the south edge of the circle. Guys swinging down from the north while this is happening. I don't know if they'll get here in time. 3, 2, 1. There is the ticker. There is no longer enough time left to start the cap. Congratulations.
And now moving on to week 4 of the match schedule.
Starting off with Division 1, we have 3-0 Esprit de Corps versus 1-1 Infiltration, taking place Friday, September 27th at 10:30 p.m. on Hill 400, and the caster will be Das Altberg.
Finishing out Division 1, we've got the 0-2 Helios taking on the 0-2 Gary Busters International. Both teams will be looking to get their first win of the season. Match will take place on Saturday, September 28th at 9 p.m. The map will be SMDM, and your caster will be yours truly.
Over in Division 2, we have 1-1 The Line versus 2-0 Chimera, taking place Saturday, September 28th at 10 p.m. on Carentan, and the caster will be Mr. Do.
On over to Division 3, we've got the 2-1 Bad Intentions, the Old Guard taking on the 3-0 undefeated Rangers of the North Chad, Sunday, September 29th at 4 p.m. The map will be Ramagan Night, and your caster will be Wix.
After that, we have 0-3 250 Hellbees versus 2-1 Vanguarda, taking place Sunday, September 29th at 4 p.m. on Saint Marie du Mont, and the caster will be DS Barbosa.
Rounding out Division 3, we've got the 2-1 Merciless taking on the 0-3 Furious Frogs, the French team, Saturday, September 28th at 5 p.m. on the map Utah Beach. We'll have 2 casters. We'll have Smithers in English and Alapanu in French.
Now on to Division 4, we have the 3-0 10th Mountain Division versus the 1-2 Odyssey, taking place Saturday, September 28th at 9 p.m. on St. Mary-Glise, and the caster will be TLF Quick Nicks.
Another undefeated, we've got the 3-0 Ronin squad, South American team taking on the 2-1 Lucky Strikes, Saturday, September 28th at 8:30 p.m. The map will be Kharkov Day, and your caster will be Angelo Delamorte.
After that, we have the 1-2 Hellfire versus 1-2 La Compagnia Maldita, Sunday, September 29th at 3 p.m. on Saint Marie du Mont, and the casters will be Jig in English and Formus No Time to Die in Spanish.
And the final matchup of the week for Division 4 will be the 1-2 Condor Legion, Spanish team taking on the 0-3 Cobras Fumante, a Brazilian team, Sunday, September 29th at 7:30 p.m. Map will be Kharkov Day, and your 2 casters will be TL Butterbits in English and DS Barbosa, who will be casting in Portuguese.
Some exciting matches.
Definitely tune in, because there's going to be some really interesting, fun matches to watch. And make sure you guys are logged in, like we said, to the Discord. Get all your information there and find the casters and get onto their Twitch or get onto their YouTube for sure. Before we get out of here for the evening, I want to say thank you to Rangers of the North, Chad, Flynn Ryder, and Odyssey Stealthy for stopping by and chatting with us. Big shout out to you, the viewers, for the continued support. Don't forget to check out this week's action by joining the APL Discord at discord.gg/the-APL for all match information. And finally, for next week's show, we'll be doing a live 15-minute Q&A. Link will be in the description below, which you can click on, and it will take you directly to the Insider Stage channel.
That's right, Guderian. Why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about this Q&A, what we're looking for, and what we would like to get out of it?
Sure. So we're looking to engage with the community and discuss match predictions and also get feedback regarding the show and just the APL as a whole. So hopefully you guys can jump in with us and we can make this a little more engaging, a little bit more fun, a little more interactive. So hopefully you guys get on that. But anyway, Goom, I think that's going to about wrap it up for week 3 of the APL Insider. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. See you next week. And from Gooms, Guderian, peace out.
Welcome to the APL Insider. Here we'll be breaking down all the plays. Yours, Guderian, the Boomer train.